everybody. Welcome back to another episode of whatever this is called, the podcast where we're not going to make fun of your nasal disability until it becomes beneficial to us. We'll love you from the beginning. I am Scott Taylor, and here, as always, with me is Mr. Steven Garcia. Steve, how you doing?
Fantastic.
I don't know if people could tell by the opening what we're talking about, so we might want to jump right in there. That was a little bit of a stretch.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm ready to go.
We're talking Christmas. It's the Christmas episode. We figured we've talked about best dads of TV. We've talked about very special episodes. What more special episodes can you get than Christmas? There's Christmas specials. There's Christmas stories that are just told by different characters and different iterations. And then there's TV shows that have specific Christmas episodes, some that do them on a regular basis versus just like a one-off thing. So we're going to talk about all of that in this podcast, starting with Christmas specials. Steve, Christmas specials were huge when we were kids, right?
Yeah, it was something that, it had CBS. Back in the day, there was four networks, but three major ones. And they had CBS and it had this intro that you automatically knew as a kid. You were like, yes, You wait all year for these kind of things to go and they're over. It's over in like an hour and a half, all three of them, or the three that I watched. And then there's more, but the three that you're waiting for, usually they all just play within an hour and a half, 2 hours of network time. So it was always a good thing to look forward to throughout the year. But then once it hit, nothing hit better.
It was appointment TV.
Yeah.
Like it was, to me, the first thing as a kid that you learn about appointment TV. Like, your Saturday morning cartoons and you know when it's on and you sit down and you flip through. But this was like, it's a Thursday night or a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock is going to be Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And you're like, great, I know where I'm going to be. And if your family told you like, we've got ice hockey practice or we got to go to grandma's getting a thing taken off of her foot, so we have to go wash her feet, then you'd be like, what the heck? Do they have a TV? Can I watch it there?
Yeah.
I remember going to like family Christmas parties at my aunt's house, and I was the youngest out of, there were 7 kids from my mom's side, and it was always their side that we went to. So,
yeah.
And my mom was the youngest. So I was the youngest out of like 7 tiers of children and cousins.
Yeah.
So I'd be in my aunt's bedroom, like with the TV, just watching, whatever I could pull up.
Yeah. I was the oldest, or one of the oldest. Me and John, my cousin John, we're the oldest cousins. So we would always reign supreme. But yeah, I mean, it was always that time of getting together and then like watching the actual, Charlie Brown or Frosty the Snowman or whatever it was. Gosh, man, this is making me nostalgic. I'm more nostalgic now talking about it than I am looking all this stuff up. So
It's the big 3, right? It's definitely got to be Rudolph, Charlie Brown, and Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
There's ancillary ones that came out. There was always like a Heathcliff Christmas, but those were the big 3 that you watch for on primetime TV.
Yeah.
Rudolph, I'd argue Rudolph's the best because it's a full story and the claymation, the Rankin Bass aspect of it.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, not great. It's good in retrospect, right?
Well, I mean,
it's all we had.
Yeah, as a kid, you were just like animation. I'm watching it, Don't forget, though, there was that one of the Santa Claus is coming to town. Remember that one?
That's true. Yeah, Rankin Bass had a whole bunch of ones, and then they had the one with New Year's. There was the New Year's Baby one. They tried to really push the Rankin Bass after that.
Right.
So it was like Happy New Year Santa or something. I forget the name of it, but they did try to push it.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, again, it was, you had just said it, we were kind of grasping at straws here because, during the holidays, everything was more festive, obviously, like the movies and what was available to us. But then the animation part, like as a kid, that's what got you fired up was, wow, cartoons at night? Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, you got to take control of the TV at night for that moment, because even your parents were like, okay, fine, we'll watch it. It's like a tradition. We'll put it on instead of Matlock or whatever else. They were interested in seeing MacGyver. I loved MacGyver, by the way. We're going to talk about MacGyver at some point.
Oh, yeah, we do.
But there were those three which were great. Some ancillary ones that happened. I loved of course, Muppet Family Christmas is classic. It brings Muppets and Sesame Street together, all in one house. They're going to Fozzie's mother's house.
That was more 80s, right? Was that in
Mhm.
the 80s? Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the Fraggles showed up in it. You had Doc. Doc was supposed to rent out Fozzie's mother's house, I believe. And then all the Muppets start showing up, and she's like, well, I guess we're staying here. And he was so upset because he's like, he has to deal with these goddamn Fraggles all year. And just being like, no one believes me about these things. And then Christmas, he just wants a break. That's all he wants. And he can't get it. He's stuck in a house full of Muppets, but then he ends up, liking it and cherishing it. A couple scenes from that. A lot of stuff from when we were kids, too. If you don't have the original VHS copy, you get, like, an edited version. They'll cut out clips and little segments. Like, I know in this one, there was a scene when Fozzie and the snowman are outside, and they, like, do a whole comedy routine together. And that gets truncated when you watch it on, like, streaming or anything like that.
It's weird. Yeah, I just ran into The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, 1985, by Rankin and Bass. Yeah, I mean, I think Choo Choo Train. What were you just saying, dude? Sorry.
Oh, just that if you don't get the original versions, like
that's right. Okay. Yeah, that's usually how it happens nowadays. Like, and even back in the day when these were popular, I wouldn't rent them during the year because that magic was that you'd watch them on TV. And this is the only time I didn't mind commercials because it was like, this is on TV, everybody's watching it. And if you got it because they had them available on VHS. So if you got them during the year, it's just not the same.
I think that's why it's not as special anymore. You can throw it on for your kids or family or whatever and watch it. But it's like, I could watch this anytime now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now. Yeah, exactly. It's a little treat. I think, I think now too, kids have so much more options. And again, going back to, these were the only things that we had really to kind of wait for because the gatekeepers of network TV are like, okay, it's Christmas time. Let's put out this content. And then you were grateful because you were just like, yes. And now it's just available at any time, which is great. I mean, it's nothing against that, but I think kids nowadays, I don't know, having a kid yourself, like, does she look forward to Christmas specials or does she?
Yeah, I mean, in our household, we were big with Rudolph, right? And my wife loved Rudolph and collected all the UNESCO ornaments they used to sell at, like, CVS.
Yeah.
So she had a whole bunch of ornaments just themed to that special. And living in Sonoma County, you gotta love Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
It's a local thing here. It's like, I have to live with the Red Sox because I was born in Boston. Well, I live in Sonoma County. I got to love Charlie Brown. So there's those things that still tie in. I think a lot of it is our nostalgia rubbing off on the younger generations when it comes to that. No, you're going to like this. You're going to watch this. Just like us showing them, like, Talking Heads and be like, here, listen to this.
You're going to watch.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is good stuff. You got to sit down and listen or watch this. It's another one of those where you force them to do it, and just because you liked it so much.
And you did bring up the Muppets, which is always is a favorite during the Christmas time. I don't know if this is the right time to introduce this, but I used to listen to John Denver and the Muppets, a Christmas album that they had. Listened to a couple tracks just before we went on air here. And it still holds up. I mean, it's still, I don't know if that's where we're going. I don't if we're done talking about whatever.
No, I consider that a special. It's a special album.
And my favorites came out in 79, and my favorites were Christmas is Coming, which is like a 2-minute, 1 minute and a half song. And then the 12 Days of Christmas, which everybody kind of jumps in and sings. Do you remember? Did you ever have this album or hearing it?
Yeah, and I remember. I mean, the clear standout is the 12 Days of Christmas because it just has everybody in it. 5 golden rings.
Ba-dum, bum, bum.
Yeah, they coined that whole ba-dum, bum, bum in the middle there. Yeah,
Miss Piggy.
It's classic. It's the John Denver album. You can just throw it on, listen to it. It's those albums that had a story to them, like had a through line. You were able to listen to it and go front to back.
That was along with watching the Muppets on the screen, they had all these kind of other things that you could buy, and that was one of them. I mean, that I had that album for a long time. It's now at the next record store that you could buy it there. Last Christmas, I remember seeing somebody had just turned it in, and they were going through all the records, and I'm like, oh, and I had all my stuff that I was gonna buy, and I was just like, oh, are you guys gonna? Can I put that on hold? And he's like, oh, we get tons of these during the Christmas day, so it's fine. And sure enough, like I'll go in there, I could find it. So yeah, it's not
it
as
seems like it was pretty popular.
Yeah,
and maybe reissued too for some years there, because people like the Muppets, or they liked them back then. We've talked about the trailing off of fandom, but another kind of ties in musically. There was a Hanna-Barbera Christmas. It's like Christmas time, Yogi Brown, or Yogi's First Christmas. That's what it was. Yogi's First Christmas. Because think about it, Yogi Bear would be snoozing all winter, right? He'd be hibernating. If you're logistically thinking about a cartoon bear, they're going to hibernate. And so he decides to stay up for Christmas one year. And so all the other, McGillic Gorilla's there, Huckleberry Hound, they all show up and they're all there. It's basically a combination of a kid's cartoon Christmas and We Gotta Save the Ski Resort movie.
Yes. You know what, to be honest, I don't think I've ever, let's see. I don't think I've ever sat and watched the whole thing. I've just seen bits and pieces of that. It's a bit after all that stuff, or my time stuff, but I remember hearing about it and watching parts of it.
Yeah, it's got whenever you take a bunch of a universe of characters and put it together, Marvel understands this, and Hanna-Barbera understood it back then. You take all the favorites, you put them into one thing. That's why Wacky Racers did well,
I was
right?
just about to bring that up,
Yeah, that's why everyone was like, oh, I can see my favorite, and everyone's favorite was there. So there was a song in Yogi's First Christmas that I thought originated there, Coming Up Christmas Time, and you've probably heard it. Haul out the holly, do 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 do.
Wait, who sings that?
To celebrate. It's the Hanna-Barbera characters.
All right, let's keep it that way.
There. Yeah. Oh,
gotcha. Just kidding, man.
Hanging
keep
up.
Singing. It was there. I had to take it. I had to take a swing.
So there was. I thought it came from that, but that song came from. There was Casper's First Christmas.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
There was a Casper special.
Yeah.
In 1979, it seems like 1979 is the crux of a lot of these things. The John Denver Christmas, Casper's First Christmas, and then Yogi came out a year later. But the song was actually from that special and started there.
It seems like George Lucas had a hand in all that, not directly, but this whole idea, I think. Well, maybe it's the holidays, but for the most part, I feel like this thing after Star Wars that they start to branch out and, hey, here's a Christmas thing. Here you go. Here's a Christmas album. Here's this. And it's all directly tied to something. And it's fun because a little off track here, but I'm looking at my list and it says a Muppet Family Christmas 87. And they describe it as the Avengers Endgame of Muppet specials.
That's what it is. You get everyone's favorite together and you're and everyone's going to be happy. You get them all interacting. That's the secret to Marvel. And it's the secret to Christmas specials, I guess.
Yeah.
But you brought it up, so I guess we have to talk about the Star Wars Christmas special a little bit.
I couldn't even get through it.
No. Anyone that tells you it's good is lying to your face. It's like saying, oh, make mashed potatoes with cauliflower. And it's no, that if you say it, you should be jailed. The only thing we get out of it, we get Life Day, which is great. Right?
Yeah.
We get the Wookiees celebrate Life Day. We get to find out that Chewbacca has had sex and has children, something that we never thought we needed to picture, but now we have. And then you also get first appearance of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's kind of the three things you get out of it.
Well, I think, Bill Simmons just did a podcast on the Star Wars a couple months, half a year ago or so. And they talked about Chewbacca having a butthole and does he really go to the bathroom? And I guess all this is answered in the holiday special.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they go, okay, let's just take all these frequently asked questions and just put them into this just sideways answer to them in this special.
Yeah. I mean, it's Luke Hamill. Mark Hamill is obviously trying, and what's his name? Han Solo. But it's painful. It's kind of, it's really, what do the kids say now? It's
cringe.
cringy. Yeah, it's cringe.
And they've
That's
moved on
just-
from cringe. Like, just adults that aren't cool say cringe now. We've adopted it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not great. That's why they haven't released it. You can only find the bootlegs out there.
Yeah. No, Disney Plus has it on there.
Oh, does it now? Oh, man.
I think so. Yeah, I think because I was like, they have this or some streaming service. I want to say it was Disney Plus because I was just on there, but yeah, they have it now, and you can find it on YouTube. It used to be probably about 5 years ago during COVID. I think is when the curiosity about it came out about it. Oh, there's a Christmas, and I remember going, oh yeah, I remember something like that, and somebody had posted it on YouTube, and hold on a second, okay, yeah, someone posted it on YouTube, and now, and I downloaded it from YouTube, so now it's like I have it, but now you can find it everywhere.
Yeah, they before YouTube and stuff, you had to just go to a convention and buy it from a bootleg dude.
Yeah.
That had all the bootleg stuff, and that was the only way to get your hands on it. And
Well,
you'd
that was
hear
like the
about it.
Yeah.
You'd hear like, "Hey, there's a Star Wars special." You're like, "No, there isn't," and then you'd have to be going through the racks and be like, "Oh man."
Yeah, it's like the Monster Squad DVD. Remember we went to WonderCon and it was out of print, couldn't find it anywhere, and I found the bootleg version. It was like a Laserdisc copy or something, but they had put it on DVD. Yeah, it was in that realm. You had to just go hunt it down.
Yeah, they have started to market Life Day though. Like every year at Disneyland, they do Life Day, and the fans just show up to celebrate Life Day in the Star Wars world area.
Yeah.
This year they started having Chewbacca with his red robe and the orb. They started just with the merch, right? A couple years ago it was just Life Day merch. Here you go, buy the stuff, people. And now they're actually, you can meet Chewbacca in the Life Day robe, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, man. Yes, it was. Do you know the particular details of this episode? Like, I know Life Day, right? So you're talking about that.
No, I mean, I know they...
But there's an animated sequence with Boba Fett.
Yeah,
That's
so
all I know
Boba Fett
about
shows up there animated. I think the live action stuff, I really think it was just centered around them going to Kashyyyk and celebrating Life Day. And you get to, I think it's like 10 minutes of it, 15 minutes of it is like no talking. It's just the Wookiees. Yeah, it's basically pantomime. Like, you're like, what is going on here? It's like you went to a foreign country and you're waiting at a train station and people are talking around you and you're like, I kind of get what's going on, but they could either be yelling at each other or loving each other. Like, I can't tell the difference, and you don't
You're
speak
drunk
the language.
again. You never know.
Yeah. Are there any other specials that you recall, the Christmas specials that you want to talk about? Like for TV?
We talked about Charlie Brown, all the Frosties, Star Wars. I had that down. Were you a big Blackadder fan?
No, never got into Blackadder.
They have a Christmas special. Doctor Who, I know, has Christmas, but nothing that's really kind of widespread in the mainstream. I think we kind of hit those. I have like TV episodes and movies, and like you said, the Christmas story list or Christmas Carol list that I have.
Yeah, so let's talk TV episodes and
Sweet.
series that don't have, didn't put out like a special, but it was like part of their own series where I'm like, it's basically the Brady's going to Hawaii, right? It's either just one episode they would do a Christmas thing, or, some series have multiple every year or every other year they'd have these holiday episodes. Do you have a favorite or two series that did them?
Yeah, I mean, The Office. I think that first Christmas one, I think it was in the second season, right?
Yeah,
where they had
season.
the Yankee swap.
Yankee swap.
And that one always... the first two seasons, that the cringe level in a good way is top notch. So that Christmas, everything's kind of going well until Michael's like love for Ryan kind of takes the whole thing, and he can't get any. It's not subtle, but he thinks he's being subtle. I don't know. That episode really just kind of tickles me because it's hard to watch for me. It's one of those hard to watch episodes in a good way. It's like.
Yeah, it's through your hand. You're watching, like, oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
And I think a big part of, especially those first two seasons and that Christmas episode, it's so realistic. Anyone that's been in an office situation has done a Secret Santa or a Yankee swap. I can watch that and be like, yeah, I know that person, Or I know that person over there. I know Creed. I know who would be the Creed bringing a shirt from the back of their closet that's in a plastic bag
Like
wrapped.
you just forgot to buy a present, just reached in his closet and gave me this little thing here.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like that. Yep, yep.
That's exactly what happened.
You know, you get a keychain. But it was so accurate. You know, the Christmas. You know, the day of the Christmas party. You know, no one's really getting anything done. They're lighting the tree, like all that sort of stuff. And the future episodes do a pretty good job too. They get a little off track. They start doing like themed Christmas. They did like I forget what the theme was, but it's when they also take Meredith to the to rehab the same episode because her hair catches on fire. She got too drunk.
Oh, that's right. Well, there's also that one where Michael's the Santa Claus, right? I forget what season that one is.
He wants to be. He's usually Santa, but Phyllis gets to be Santa that year, and he comes out as Jesus instead. He just turns his outfit inside out.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Office did a really good job with those Christmas episodes and any theme that they did.
Yeah. Which one was the Benihana one where they go to
that was I think that was the second Christmas episode they did.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too. When his girl breaks up with him, I forget her name, but he's just like, listen, you're beautiful. Oh no, it was a different one. It was a different James Blunt.
Your body is a wonderland, wasn't it?
No, it was damn. Anybody in the comments write down. It's that one by James Blunt. It wasn't You're Beautiful, but it was like, I can't remember. Maybe it was You're Beautiful. I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah. They that whole, the aspect of that one was the two different party planning things. And you could see, like, workplace wise, yes, we all had an Angela who made it very prim and proper, Christmas party thing. And then the other younger crowd that was like, let's do something different.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun. But then it's all the routine stuff that we always do. We do that here. The Office was spot on a lot of those scenarios.
The dynamic in that show, like you said, between the characters, it's always so relatable because you could be Jim one week, or you could be Michael one week, or you could be Pam, and you just have all these different perspectives. And you go, for me, when I watched it, I would always be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I remember, yeah, I can relate to that, yeah, or I can relate to Creed, what he's saying and whatever. But that's why it was so relatable, and enjoyable.
The series that I go to, the classic series that had Christmas episodes, is Married with Children. Because they second season they out of the gate. And Married with Children, I watched the whole thing about how it was really, they weren't doing well. Like they were brought on to Fox to start Fox up.
Yes.
And they didn't do that well. And then there was a campaign to shut them down by a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
And they call, I forget her name, but they call that her effect now.
Yeah.
When something gets so much focus on something that she wanted to get rid of.
Yeah.
And just second season, they jump right in. And second season is the episode where the there's the new mall, and the Santa from that mall is going to jump out of a helicopter and parachute down and hand out gift certificates. And they're all watching it. Al's already upset because his family's going to this new mall and not his broke down mall where his shoe store is.
Uh-huh.
And so he just crash lands in their backyard. And Al has to, the kids see it, and the kids are all out on his porch, and Al has to put on the Santa suit from the dead guy and go out and talk to the kids. It was very in line with the show, and it kind of showed that they weren't going to pull any punches ever.
Yeah. That show was, I remember, when Fox started out, and I remember it had the Tracy Ullman show, The Simpsons, I want to say, maybe.
After Tracy Ullman, yeah.
Yeah, and then this one, and it had, it just had shows on there. Was Mike Hammer on there? Oh, no, that was ABC. Yeah, I mean, I remember it starting, and I remember it wanting to be good, and always watching every week, and just being like, yeah.
There was they had It's a Wonderful Life one, and the Angel. Do you remember who played the Angel on that?
It was who was it?
It was the perfect casting of the time, Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison played the angel that was taking Al through, here's what it'd be like if you weren't alive, and his family's all happy, and they're with, a rich husband and stuff. Sam Kinison put it like the perfect casting at that time. You're like, who's the opposite of an angel that could work with Al Bundy? And you're like, Sam Kinison. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
But they had so many different episodes. There was one where Al actually started to put money away into a Christmas account, but then he showed up too late to the bank and couldn't get it out, and so like all his everything he was trying to do was just ruined. That's one that I look back on, and I try to watch as many of the episodes as I can every year.
Yeah. That's a good one. The Blackadder Christmas one, I have seen a couple of times, but I haven't seen it probably like 10 years, maybe 15 years. So I have to go back and watch that one before I even talk about it. But Blackadder was a show that I loved anyways. It was a BBC show, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. I think that the allure of this show, well, it had the British humor, so it had kind of like a Python-esque kind of humor. But there was 4 seasons of the show, and each season was a different part of history. So the first season was back in the Crusades, and castles and moats, and now that the second season was the Elizabethan era. And so you had, Queen and the royal, and Blackadder he played kind of do you know anything about this series?
I've seen clips. I've never seen a full episode.
So Blackadder is this character throughout these 4 seasons he plays kind of the same person, but it's in different eras, obviously. So and then the third one, which is my favorite, is the King Richard era. And in London and France, I can't remember where, but and I'm horrible at history, so please forgive me, audience. But the 4 people that watch this, but and that's my favorite one. He's a butler to the Prince Regent, and the Prince is like just a knucklehead. He plays the guy from House.
Oh, Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie plays the bumbling prince, and Blackadder's always trying to kind of scheme his way into money, but then he always loses out. And it's, I'll give you a couple episodes when we're done to watch, but that's my go-to. But again, I haven't seen the Christmas one in a long time, and it just came up when I was researching this list to do this. I was like, oh, the Blackadder episode, but I didn't have time to watch it. So yeah, anyways, that's one that everybody should watch.
I think one big one that's Christmas adjacent is Seinfeld, the Festivus episode, which is another yearly watch. Like, this is like, okay, when we were kids, Rudolph would come on, but I think Festivus episode of Seinfeld is something that every year got to throw on, got to watch it, got to see the bagel strike, got to see George's dad, wanted to wrestle them. George just talking about how messed up his family was, and his dad wanted to create this holiday. You get the him making the little donation cards. George saying money has been donated in your name. It's just a great whole episode there.
Yeah. That's I haven't seen that one in years as well. I'm writing all this down so I can go back and watch these.
So many quotes out of it. I got a lot of problems with you people. And now you're going to hear about it because they do the airing of grievances.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Festivus isn't over until someone pins me.
What season is that one? Do you remember?
Oh, man. I don't even know.
Okay. That's all right. I'll look it up.
Festivus is, let's see, it's usually celebrated on December 23rd. That's the date of Festivus. So I have friends that, we'll write to each other on that day, pin me or whatever. I got a lot of problems with you. But it's season 9, episode 10 of Seinfeld. So they had been on for a while.
Late in the game, yeah.
Yeah. That's another series that you can think of an episode and you could think it's way earlier or way later, and you could be completely off just because it's such a huge world of episodes. Yeah.
Well, that's like the Michael's Kids episode. Mm-hmm. I always think it's sooner, and it's really late in the series. Or later, I should say, not late, but it was.
I did that
6 or 7 season, right?
Yeah, Scott's Tots is back. Is when Erin comes in because she goes instead of Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, another series that there's just so many episodes, but they do Christmas episodes and holiday episodes is Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
Big Bob's Burgers fan, and
Yeah.
they do Thanksgiving episodes, they've done Easter episodes, but they're pretty consistent on Christmas ones. They've skipped a couple years, and sometimes again they're like Christmas adjacent. There's one year that it's like during winter break, so it's right after Christmas. But they've got some good solid ones that are meme worthy, where his wife puts up the tree the day after Halloween, uh, and then it's dead by the time Thanksgiving comes. So she puts up the tree the day after Thanksgiving, and then it's dead again, and they have to go out the night, Christmas Eve to go get a tree. There's a bunch of different Bob's Burgers episodes that are Christmas themed that are all really solid.
Nice. There's some Halloween. There's a Batman one, Christmas with Joker. There's Tales from the Crypt from '89. There's a Twilight Zone, Night of the Meek from 1960. It's a really heartfelt one. And then there's Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas Special in '88. Are you a big fan of that one?
Yep, that's a solid one. Yep, that's my wheelhouse. Love the Pee-wee one with. Was it Grace Jones? Is that who he had on there?
I think so. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in years. I just compiled a list and I was like, oh, I got to watch these.
It was just like a big episode. I mean, that's all it was one big long Pee-wee episode. I do remember the He-Man Masters of the Universe Christmas special. I have that on a DVD, I believe.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yeah. Because we were like, we don't need the full series of He-Man. We just want like a little piece of something to watch when we want nostalgia. And so we've got the Christmas episode.
Well, there's one that I was surprised you didn't bring up, and maybe you want to bring it up now. It's okay.
You sound like Chris Hansen there. Like, have a seat.
Yeah.
Something you want to tell me?
Alf's Christmas Special in '87.
And I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't either. But I guess it's a holiday episode of that one. I was waiting for you to bring that one up because Alf. You have brought out more in a nostalgic way. You've brought out the Alf lover in me because I used to watch that show every week. But for me, it was more of like, it was kind of hit or miss, because I was a little older. So it was just kind of, I was on my way out into middle school and junior high, or whatever you want to call it. And so I was kind of finding life outside of my house. But that was kind of like the last series I really kind of... from childhood anyways, that I really kind of, now I'm going back to and watching whenever I can. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the Christmas one of Alf, but it makes sense because he's from a foreign planet. And he wouldn't understand it. You'd be explaining all these weird traditions to him and, it would get lost in translation. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of the things. Yeah, that's a great premise for a Christmas episode.
Yeah. So, we got any movies? You got any movies that you like? Christmas movies that you watch?
Movies, you've got the offshoot ones. You've got Gremlins that you guys just talked about recently on Gonna See My Friends podcast.
No, we're going to do that this week.
So coming up soon.
Yeah.
Gremlins, I'm Gonna See My Friends. That's one that you don't think of being a Christmas one unless you're actually a Gremlins or a movie buff.
Yeah.
You just think it's like a winter kind of movie.
Yeah, because they had to spray paint a lot of the snow, and you can tell now that I know that. Well, I've known that from my adult life, but when you're a kid, you just think, oh, this is so cool. This is because it's the same set as Back to the Future, the downtown Kingston Falls. Yeah, it's a go-to again. Like you said, we're going to do that one this weekend, and in fact, it's our last episode for the season. So everybody, come watch it or listen to it, whatever you do with it. Anyways. Yeah, it's that one is a really special one. We saw it last year at a double feature, and it was great. It was awesome. It was cool to see those kind of old childhood movies up on the big screen. But yeah, like you said, it's a great one to revisit every year. That you don't really notice that it's a Christmas until like halfway through the movie, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is Christmas because she's making cookies, she's watching It's a Wonderful Life, and said the lamb to the little shepherd boy. So. Yeah, it's great.
You get the whole talk about, the dad.
Yeah.
And coming down the chimney, which, that conversation doesn't just make it a it does happen during Christmas time, but she brings it up because it is Christmas time. Yeah. It could have been like a 4th of July picnic and she brings up that subject and that'd be way weird. Like, hey, can I get you another hot dog? So my dad was Santa.
I was just gonna say, so you don't want any more mac and cheese?
Yeah, you good? You max out? You don't want any more? You got? We're playing frisbee. No, you still want to talk about your dad? Okay, that's fine.
I got to talk about a couple movies here that I love, that I watched, one of them I have, well, actually both of them I haven't watched in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could indulge, and I want to get your opinion on it. The first one's kind of it's a Nicolas Cage movie called The Family Man. The Family Man. Have you heard of that movie?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's like a kind of like a Wonderful Life thing. He wakes up, he's this like Wall Street financier kind of dude, where I think they take like rich people's money and invest it in companies, and he's got this proposal, and he wakes up, it's Christmas, what is it, Christmas Day, I think it is, and he emergency meeting, and everybody's like, oh, and it's all day in the office, and he's pounding out these details, and he runs into Don Cheadle, who's holding up this store. He's not holding up, but he wins a lottery ticket, and he's like, hey, $200, I'm here to collect, and the guy's like, nah, I seen this is a scam. You fill in the numbers. No, go away. And he's like, no, dude. And so he pulls out his gun. He's like, look at the ticket. Anyways, I love this story. And he ends up being an angel. And he asks Nicolas Cage, he's like, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, I pretty much have everything I want. He's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to enjoy this one. And so he says goodnight. He wakes up in the morning, and he's with his first girlfriend, which is played by Tia Leone. And they have 2 kids. And he's in this like 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, whatever, I don't know, in New Jersey. And he's just like, he wakes up and like, Tia Leone's like, it's your turn with the kids. And he's just like, what? It's Christmas. And so he drives back into the city, and he's trying to get back into his apartment, and nobody knows who he is. And so it's just it's a soft, I don't know, it's just a great movie. You've never heard of this movie or seen it?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, though. It sounds familiar.
It's a good one. It's a good family one.
It's a good, always a good take on, Christmas time, an angel taking you out of your place and putting you somewhere else to make sure you realize what's really important.
Yeah. And at the end, he goes back to his life, but then he goes and chases down. Well, I think what flips it off is that in the beginning, when he's still the rich guy and stuff, his secretary's like, oh, and we got this person called. She says that you need to call back. He's like, oh, Kate. Oh, it was my first girlfriend, before I went to London. And so that one is a must watch.
Those are those are very like adjacent to body swap movies then. Yeah. Like it's like body swap movies with a little bit of mistletoe on it. Yeah, because it's always the premise of let me show you the other side of things.
Yeah,
whereas the same thing with the body changing. You do vice versa. You do Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage. They're thinking each one's better than the other. The dad and the son, but body swapping.
You think because of this is how I kind of like to think of those things, is that when you have a movie that's really what's the word done, it's been done, but you have these performances by like Nicolas Cage, Tia Leone, and who else? Oh, Jeremy Piven is in it, and he's the next door neighbor, and he's fantastic in this movie. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, he needs to come back and be in movies.
10 years.
Yeah, he needs to be back. Anyways, he's great in this, and it's this subtle shift that Nicolas Cage's performance. It's this subtle shift from I'm not this guy, I don't know who you think I am, to I love you and I love our kids and I love the family that we've made. It's the performances that really kind of carry this movie, because like you said, this movie you've seen this dozens of times, this story, but if you watch the story going I've seen this before, you just got to stay for the performances, because that's what really sells the whole thing, and it's these little things that happen throughout the movie. But yeah, it's a great performance. It's one of Nicolas Cage's best. I mean, I just rewatched a couple scenes from The Rock, and I think that's 97, 96, somewhere around there. And I forgot how dynamic and how explosive all of his performances were. He really didn't want to just do the leading man thing. He did. He took those roles, but he infused it with his own little quirkiness and his own flavor. And when you watch these, especially this movie, Family Man, like that's what really carries that. The performances are just great. So one more before I'll let you take over.
Yeah, go for it.
These films are great. Have you ever seen The Ref? Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Dennis Leary. Yep.
Dude, one of my favorites. One of my favorite. I mean, it's like a play. I mean, I was a big fan of Richard Le Gravenese. He wrote it. He was a big writer in the 90s and wrote a couple things, good things. But this was directed by Ted Demme. And Dennis Leary just really... He commands this movie, but Kevin Spacey has a couple good cool things, and Julie, what's her name? Anyways, the wife that plays in this. If people that don't know the story, it's about the story about this couple. It starts out they're in therapy and they're gonna get a divorce. They find out so they're driving home from the therapy session and they got to get some things from the store. Dennis Leary plays this burglar who tries to rob this rich person's house, and there's a couple of traps that the guy has, and he gets through them barely. But now the whole town is looking for Dennis Leary, and so he kidnaps. I think I want to say Davis. Her last name is David. Anyways, Australian actress, great. Kidnaps her, gets into the car with Kevin Spacey and her, and doesn't realize that this couple is constantly bickering. The gun has no effect. Hey, he's all, hey, I have a gun. Shut up. And they run a red light. They do all this stuff. They're having a family gathering. It's just hilarious. It's almost Three's Company-ish. And it's almost as written as a play, too, because there's these segments, dinner table, opening the presents, the son is like a sociopath, but not really, but he's... he blackmails he's at a military school and he blackmails his headmaster. It's just it's just fun. It's a fun watch. It's really funny and really, Dennis Leary is at his best. I think this is his peak performance in movies, I want to say, because I don't think it gets any better than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what do you
I
think?
haven't seen that in a long time, but from Boston, so I'm a big Dennis Leary fan, of course.
Yeah.
Just the asshole song.
Yeah,
throw that on every once in a while. But yeah, Dennis Leary's great in it. I remember that part of it. It's a great premise. It's like he is the ref. He's refereeing these the argument between these two people that just are never gonna see eye to eye.
And when the extended family gets there and he has to deal with the grandmother, and he's just like, because you're embarrassed of the size of your penis. And he's like, give me Dennis Leary, or Kevin Spacey's holding back. He's like, let me just punch her. Come on. I thought moms are supposed to be like sweet and warm. And he's like, lady, your husband isn't dead. He's in hiding. Oh my goodness. Just so many good lines in that movie.
There's a lot of movies that are everyone focuses on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, or Home Alone.
Which I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Chevy Chase, so those movies don't really hit for me.
It's good in its segments. It's really disjointed, right? Mm-hmm. But it has its moments for sure.
Yeah.
You've got Elf, you've got Home Alone, you've got those kind of staples, so it's always good to talk about the ancillary movies.
Yeah.
Like that one. And the one I always recommend to people is from 2020, and it's called Fat Man. And it's Mel Gibson playing this kind of grizzled
you told me about
Santa
this
Claus.
last year.
Mm-hmm. They portray it somewhat realistically. Santa isn't, touching his nose and going down a chimney. Mel Gibson is Santa. And he has a contract with the U.S. government to be Santa and to provide these toys to kids because for every dollar that they invest in him, it sparks, $10 in the commerce industry overall.
Yeah.
People buying wrapping paper and buying other gifts and adults buying gifts. So it has him and his, elves up there at a factory He's got a wife played by Marianne Jean Baptiste, which after all the Mel Gibson stuff, it's a very unique casting there. You're like,
Yeah.
was he okay with this? Where's this going? But it also has Walton Goggins, everyone's
Yeah,
favorite.
Walton.
You know, Walton Goggins as a hitman. And the premise of the whole story is that there's this kid that's this bratty kid that doesn't get what he wants from Santa, and so he hires Walton Goggins to go kill Santa Claus. And so Walton Goggins is trying to figure out where is Santa. And Walton Goggins has his own little hatred of Santa from when he was a kid that, I won't ruin kind of the spoilers there, but it's a very grounded movie, and it's just a non-typical fun holiday movie. It's not a comedy. It's more of a drama, but it has its moments there, of course. It's pretty good. If you like movies where they go dark, like there was that one with the guy from David Harbour, right? That was a recent one, Violent Night, I think it was called.
Yeah.
If you like those types of movies where it's holiday adjacent, I feel like I said the word adjacent a lot in this episode, but these ones that are just they're Christmas, but barely, kind of just on the offshoots of Christmas. Fat Man is a good one. I'd suggest that to anybody.
That's awesome. And Mel Gibson is doing these really kind of cool kind of movies like this. He was in one last summer called Monster Summer. And I know this is kind of a little not Christmassy, but, it's about the kids. It's like a Goonies type, Monster Squad type of thing. And Mel Gibson was in that one too. And I appreciate that he does all these kind of different types of movies, So, yeah, I definitely want to watch that. I actually had that on the list for last year, and I just totally forgot about it. So I think this year I'm going to watch it. Yeah. So where's it playing? Paramount Plus, Prime Video.
Nice.
So, yeah. And Netflix. Cool.
On Netflix too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend Fat Man. Fat Man's pretty fun. That and Krampus are the two that we kind of watch every year now. Those are our two go-tos. So the last thing we want to talk about is your affinity for one specific set of Christmas stories.
Yeah, A Christmas Carol. I've already watched the first one for this year, which was the George C. Scott version from 1984. Very just bare bones, like straight adaptation. And I don't know what it is, but I think it started like a couple of years ago where I was just like, okay, I'm going to watch. I think it started with the Jim Carrey one in 2009, the Robert Zemeckis Christmas Carol. That one obviously was animated, so you could do a lot of these weird things with it, and he did, and it's pretty cool. I like it. There's just something about the movie and the time of year, I think it is. It's not so much that I love A Christmas Carol as a movie. It's just more of, it's Christmas time. I'm getting up there in age. Let's start making my own little kind of things that I do for Christmas. So, yeah, I think I'm going to... There's one from... let me put my list real quick. There's one from... Jesus, sorry about this. Oh, no, it's not even on my list. Anyways, there's one from 35 that I'm going to watch. There's one from... Oh, here we go. It's just up at the top. There's one from 38, Reginald Owen, MGM. There's one from 51, Alistair Slims is in that one. This one's kind of considered the one that kind of is the best one. It's the one to go to. But there's also one in 54 with Basil Rathbone in it. And I haven't seen that one. I think that one I'm going to see this year next. And then the Christmas Carol, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. It's animated. There's some Scrooge, 1970, Albert Finney musical, big production. Obviously, it's Mickey's Christmas Carol from 83. A Christmas Carol, the one I just watched from 84, George C. Scott, considered one of the best straight retellings. So that's the one I always start with. Then you have the Muppet Christmas Carol from 92. The Patrick Stewart one from 99. I saw that last year. That's a good one, too. One from 88. A Scrooge. That's one. The one I was. So there's a lot of Christmas ones. There's Kelsey Grammer did one in 04, 09 with Jim Carrey. Guy Pearce did one in 2019 that just went off the rails a little too much. It's like a 3-episode thing. Each one is like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 10 minutes. And it just went kind of too dark and off the rails. It's still, if you like it, that's great. I'm going to give it another try. But yeah, then you have all these Bugs Bunny, Flintstones, Barbie. You have all these other ones. Yeah, I don't know. What do you watch them, or when was the last time you saw one, or do you have a preference of one?
You know, the one that I go to rewatch probably is the one that we did on Gonna See My Friends last year, which was Scrooged.
Scrooged,
Right?
yeah.
Because it's such that's the telling of the story from my time.
Yeah.
That, you know, the late 80s, early 90s of TV industry, Bill Murray at a peak right there.
Yeah.
So that one's great. But if I go back to, you know, Mickey's Christmas Carol is big in my household. That's my wife's favorite. Mine is the Christmas, Muppet Christmas Carol, that one. Michael Caine. You get Gonzo as Dickens. I mean, that's spot on right there.
Yeah.
You get Light the Lamp, Not the Rat. It's a great version of it. Nobody in my house will watch it with me. I think last year I watched it with my dog because I have a dog that will actually watch TV, that will see stuff and react to it. And so I'll sit and watch it with him and he'll enjoy it with me. Those are probably my go-tos for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, and it kind of puts me in the Christmas mood. Not much does much anymore, but watching these movies does. Because there was a time when, you know, for me, Christmas was like the best time of the year and this and that. And slowly just becoming, it's Tuesday, you know. But I think watching these movies for me is more of like, this is what it's about. It's about this time of giving. And not that you give all year long, but this is when we should be conscious of it and just be nice, be a nice person and, you know, try to make other people's lives nicer. And, you know, so, yeah.
I feel it's something that you have to, like many things in life, you have to make your own space for. And if you make the space for it, you're better off. So if you make the space between Thanksgiving and December 25th to make a tradition to pick up a movie that you love that's Christmas themed, or look into new ones. I think that's the key there, is to make that space. When you don't make the space for it, that's when it just kind of disappears and you don't get the benefit out of it. I liken it to, you know, if I am more on my depressed side, I won't change the dry erase calendar in our kitchen. You know, it will just be, you know, 3 weeks into the month and it will still be the prior month on there. And I can tell my level of kind of depression by that. If I don't do that, then I'm not looking forward to anything and I don't really care. You have to kind of put that thing out on the horizon and have your calendar updated so that you make space for these Christmas things.
Yeah, you have to be actively involved in your own happiness and your own making of that, you know, whatever that could be. So yeah, you're right. It's kind of that participation of like, even though sometimes you're just like, I'm done. I just don't want to go through this season. And it's like, but you know, it's you have to create it on your own. You have to be the one to be like, okay, here's a, what do you call it? Here's a flag, and that's where I'm going, and that's my destination. So yeah, that's what this is for me, is this kind of, they're all in their own, all the iterations. It's just a feel good thing, I guess, for me at the end. And, you know, It's a Wonderful Life too, is I watch that a lot during Christmas time. And no matter how many times I've seen that last half hour of that movie just really touches you. So that's what it's like, that endorphin thing. It's like, you're just chasing that.
Yeah. So what's your Christmas go-to? Well, TV, music, movies. What's yours? We've told you our favorites, the ones that we love, the ones that we remember. What do you think? What's your favorite? Hit us up on Instagram and leave a message on YouTube. If you're visually watching our pretty faces, let us know. We're happy to hear what you have to say. We love your feedback. So let us know tell us do we miss something that we should be watching every year? Because I'm happy to add something new into my list.
Yeah, give us some stuff.
Or if you know where Steve can find the copy of the Looney Tunes one Mel Gibson watched in Lethal Weapon, let Steve know down in the comments, because he's been looking for that one for a while. But until next week, we've been whatever this is called. Remember, we're not mad, we're just disappointed. And we'll see you next week.